Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, our mission, well, it's pretty simple, but honestly, potentially transformative. We're
Oh,
going to stop just snapping those quick moments,
yeah.
and start actually making photographs.
Exactly. We're trying to channel that disciplined vision of the masters. Think Ansel Adams, Cartier-Bresson, Aaron Siskind.
Right. And applying their genius, their way of seeing, directly to the phone camera that's, well, probably in your pocket right now.
And the sources are really clear on this. The power, it's already there. Whether
Yeah.
you've got a Pixel or, another decent modern phone, the computational heft, the speed, the sheer amount of data it can grab,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the digital equivalent of Adams's whole darkroom setup.
Or Cartier-Bresson's little Leica, yeah. Discreet and powerful.
Exactly. So the gear itself, that's not really the barrier anymore.
That's such a key point right off the bat. We're past the technical hurdles. The real challenge now, it's more philosophical, isn't it?
It is. It's about learning to pause, to really see the scene with genuine intention.
And remembering what Adam said, that the most vital part of the camera is the 12 inches behind it.
Yeah. We need to train those 12 inches, teach ourselves how to see properly.
So moving from just being an observer to actually being a creator, it starts with Adam's big idea, right? That photography is about making a photograph.
Yes, making, not taking. Taking is just recording facts. There's a house, there's a tree, simple record.
Right.
But making a photograph, that's translating your vision, your feeling about that scene into the final image. It's deliberate. It's an active interpretation.
And the tool for that translation is pre-visualization.
Pre-visualization. Adams wouldn't even lift his camera, apparently, until he'd already pictured the final print in his mind.
Wow.
Yeah, the shadows, the highlights, the exact mood he wanted someone to feel looking at it on a wall.
So for us, using our phones, that means before we even tap the screen?
Pause. Ask yourself, okay, what feeling am I going for here? What's the story this finished photo should tell?
That forces you to have intent, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You're not just hoping for a good shot anymore. You're instructing the camera, guiding it towards your specific pre-decided vision. It's the ultimate creative control, really.
That deliberate intention. It seems almost opposite to Cartier-Bresson, the master of capturing the spontaneous moment, his decisive moment.
But it connects perfectly. See, the decisive moment is often misunderstood. People think it's just about luck, being in the right place.
Isn't partly?
Well, Bresson defined it as recognizing instantly the significance of an event and the precise organization of forms. Geometry was huge for him.
Geometry.
Lines, shapes, how they all interact. It's that split second when the geometry, the feeling, the movement, boom, perfect harmony.
Okay, but let's be real. We have phones with unlimited storage, super fast burst modes. Why bother with the kind of patience Bresson had? Standing around, waiting.
Waiting for life to walk into the perfect composition he'd already found.
Right. Isn't burst mode just the modern version of the decisive moment? Capture everything and pick later.
That's a fair question, but it's about quantity versus quality of seeing, I think. Burst mode, sure, it gives you maybe 500 frames.
Yeah, spray and pray.
Kinda. But Bresson's approach, it gives you one frame. But that one frame is infused with intense observation. He called photography a kind of geometric hunting.
Geometric hunting, I like that.
He'd find the composition first, the lines, the shapes, and then wait patiently for the right action or element to complete it. That patience, it trains your eye to see the potential harmony, not just record the chaos around you.
Okay. So Adams gives us intentional vision. Bresson gives us intentional timing. Now we have to talk light. That's fundamental.
Absolutely. And that brings us to Adam's zone system.
The 10 steps.
Yeah.
Zone, 0, pure black, nothing there.
Right, no detail, all the way up to zone X, pure white, also no detail.
And he meticulously controlled where every tone in his scene fell on that scale. He didn't just capture light, he commanded it.
And this is where that philosophy becomes incredibly practical for us phone users. Adams placed each tone. Our phone, by default, it wants to average everything out.
To middle gray, right, zone G.
It wants everything to look balanced, safe, kind of boring sometimes, factual.
But we don't always want safe and factual. We want mood, drama, intention. How do we wrestle that control back using just the phone's interface?
It's simpler than you might think. It comes down to using tap to focus and then adjusting the exposure. When you tap on a specific spot on your screen, your phone measures the light right there.
Okay.
And its goal becomes make that spot middle gray, zone V.
Okay, so let's walk through that. If I'm shooting, say, a dark alleyway.
Right. and you deliberately tap on a deep shadow area, maybe a zone 3 in reality, the phone says, okay, that's my new zone V, and it raises the overall exposure. The whole scene gets brighter. You start seeing details in those shadows. You've used the shadow to dictate the brightness.
Clever. And the opposite. If I tap on something really bright, like a cloud,
Same logic, opposite effect. The phone sees that bright highlight, maybe a zone 8 naturally. It says, nope, that's zone V now.
Nice.
And it lowers the exposure for the entire photo.
protecting the highlights.
Exactly. It darkens the whole scene to preserve the detail in that bright spot, stopping it from just blowing out to pure white. You are actively choosing which tone anchors the whole image.
That is powerful. And then there's that little slider that pops up.
The manual exposure slider, that's your fine-tuning, your artistic override.
So the snow example, snow looks wrong if it's gray. It needs to feel bright.
Definitely. If you just tap the snow, the phone makes it zone V, muddy gray, looks dirty.
Yeah.
Adams would place bright, detailed snow, maybe zone 7, zone 8, bright but with texture. So you tap the snow, the phone makes it gray, and you grab that slider and push it up.
Telling the phone, no, I want this part to be brighter than average.
You're consciously placing that tone. You're using the zone system, basically, without the charts.
This brings up contrast, though. Adams, Brisai, with his Paris nights. They loved deep shadows, strong contrast. Our phones often try to flatten everything with HDR, right? Lift all the shadows.
And we often need to fight that urge, both in shooting and editing. Shadows aren't problems to be fixed. They're characters. They add drama, mystery, depth.
They ground the light.
Perfectly put. When you expose, or when you edit later, consciously let some shadows stay dark, maybe even go fully black, zone 0 or I. Without strong shadows, your highlights just don't pop. Contrast sculpts the image, makes it feel three-dimensional.
Okay, light managed, timing considered, composition, structure. Everyone learns the rule of thirds first.
And it's a decent guide, a starting point for structure. But, the masters, they knew the rules, so they knew when and why to break them.
Right. Adams might center a huge mountain if he wanted pure stability and power.
Or Bresson might use a really strong diagonal or put someone right on the edge of the frame to create tension. Knowing the rule gives you the freedom to ignore it purposefully.
So, beyond the basics, we need to talk about Aaron Siskind. He kind of threw out conventional structure, didn't he? Forced us into abstraction.
He did. He'd look at totally mundane things. Peeling paint, cracked pavement, stains on a wall.
Stuff you'd normally ignore.
Totally. And he saw only form, rhythm, gesture. He divorced the texture from the object itself. He wasn't photographing a wall, he was photographing the shapes on the wall.
That's a huge mental leap, going from Adams's grand landscapes to Siskind's tiny patch of peeling paint. How do we actually do that? Find abstraction anywhere.
Think texture and close-ups. Look around you right now, even at your desk or kitchen table.
Okay.
Water drops on a glass, the way paper folds when crumpled, shadows on fabric, rust on an old screw.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
The technique is cropping to abstraction. Get in really close. Build the frame so tight that the viewer can't immediately tell what the object is. They're forced to see just the shapes, the lines, the feel of the texture itself. It becomes about pure visual rhythm.
I like that exercise. Okay. Siskind finds rhythm in overlooked details. Let's switch gears to people. Portraits. Annie Leibovitz and narrative.
Leibovitz always stressed connection, story, and she famously looked for those moments between the moments.
The expression between expressions.
Exactly. That unguarded split second after someone poses or after they laugh. When the mask slips, just for an instant, that's where the real person surfaces. Vulnerability, authenticity.
And that's where our phone's speed is actually a huge advantage, right? Catching that fleeting thing.
Absolutely. Use burst mode here, but strategically.
How so?
Get the pose or wait for the reaction to a joke, whatever it is. Then keep that shutter held down for a second or two after the main action seems over.
Linger with the burst.
Yeah. You'll capture the subtle things, the slight shoulder slump, the brief faraway look, the jaw relaxing. You might get 50 shots, maybe more.
And then the work is finding that one gem.
Finding the frame where the guard truly drops. And Leibovitz also mastered using the environment, didn't she? The setting wasn't just background, it was part of the story.
A character in itself.
Right. The environment should amplify who the person is. Photographing a writer, maybe include the messy desk, the books, a musician, their instrument, the worn case. The setting adds layers, symbolism. It turns a simple portrait into a mini narrative.
Okay, we've captured the light, the moment, the composition. Now, the digital darkroom. Adam said the negative was the score. The print was the performance.
And for us, that means shooting in RAW format is pretty much essential if you want that Adams level control.
Why raw specifically?
Dynamic range, mostly. A standard JPEG, it captures maybe 7 stops of light information, give or take. A RAW file, it might hold 9, 10, even more.
So much more data.
Tons more data, especially in the really deep shadows and the really bright highlights. It's like having hidden reserves of detail that you can pull out later. Virtual brackets, Adams might have called them.
So editing isn't about fixing mistakes.
Not primarily, it's about revealing the potential that's already locked inside that raw file, interpreting the score,
And the key tools for that interpretation, echoing the old darkroom techniques,
dodging and burning, lightening and darkening specific areas.
which we can do on our phones now.
Easily. Look for tools like Selective Adjust in apps like Snapseed or similar functions in other editors. Dodging is lightening, maybe brightening a face just slightly, making it pop.
Without brightening the whole photo.
Exactly. And burning is darkening, maybe toning down a distracting bright spot in the corner or deepening shadows to add more drama and focus. It's local control
Why is that local control so critical?
because it guides the viewer's eye. Our eyes are naturally drawn to the brightest parts of an image. If the background is too bright or some random element distracts,
The eye wanders away from the subject.
precisely. By selectively burning the edges, maybe dodging the main subject, you're essentially telling the viewer, look here, this is what matters. It's the final step in realizing your pre-visualized intent.
And let's touch on black and white conversion. It's not just hitting desaturate, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. Good black and white is a whole different way of seeing. It forces you to rely entirely on tone, texture, and form, no color to hide behind.
So what's the goal?
You need to actively work the contrast, the structure, or clarity sliders. Push and pull until the image feels solid, almost sculpted, three-dimensional. Aim for those deep, rich blacks and bright, detailed whites. Make the textures, the cis-kind elements, really sing through the relationship between light and dark alone.
Okay, so wrapping this up for the listener, we've gone through quite a journey here, training your eye with pre-visualization,
Using tap to expose to basically place tones, like Adam's own system.
composing with geometry, and sometimes extreme patience, like Bresson.
Finding abstraction in unexpected places, thanks to cis-kind.
And finally, using that digital darkroom, dodging and burning, to sculpt the final vision.
It really boils down to shifting the phone from just a recording device to a genuine tool for expression.
And Adams left us with that powerful thought, didn't he?
Yeah.
That it's not just the camera.
Right, he said, you don't make a photograph just with a camera. You bring to the act of photography all the pictures you have seen, the books you have read, the music you have heard, the people you have loved.
That context,
Yeah.
everything you bring, that's the real darkroom, isn't it?
It is.
So the challenge for you, listening now, go look at your world. Whether it's a grand landscape or just, the way light falls across your kitchen table, look with this new sense of intention. Start seeing the geometry. Wait for the moment, that decisive moment. It's yours to make.